Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. West Santa Clara, and everyone who really cares about what's going on the south side of town. I want to start off tonight talking about the Kevin Park situation. As I mentioned previously, Kevin has had the police out to his house, I believe on 3 occasions, because of a domestic violence situation. In all 3 situations, there was no need to arrest anybody, so they couldn't have been too severe, but they're on the record books, and if you file a California Public Records Act request, you will get the police report. And kind of along that line, there's 2 basic news sources in the city of Santa Clara. There's SCNO, which is Santa Clara News Online. It's published by a fellow by the name of Robert Hall. The other is the Santa Clara Weekly, which is published by a fellow by the name of Miles Barber. Hall worked for Barber a long time ago. The only thing the 2 of them agree on is that he was fired. Hall has taken up the position that Kevin is not the best person for the job as city council member and has chosen to do investigative reporting on him. I think this is kind of odd because Hall himself has been arrested twice for molesting children. So what I did today was to issue a California Public Records Act request asking to see the arrest reports for both of those events. Now, I need to be fair, he was not charged for either of them. He was arrested but not charged. And I'm not quite sure why, but as I say, Hall has made this his big deal. One of the things that kind of underlies it all is there were 5 council members who were elected 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, and they each had large contributions from the 49ers through the PAC, so it was legal and all, causing some people to dub them the 49er 5. And Kevin is very much one of the 49er 5. But the thing that I like most about Kevin is the whole time I have known him, he's really big on accountability. He wants people to live up to the things they did or didn't do. So I'm not quite sure where this is going to go, but it's kind of unfolding before us, and it's interesting as heck. Not much on the crime report this week. On the 3rd, we had a drunk driving arrest over on Halford. On the 8th, we had an arrest, on the 3rd, we had an arrest at the barbershop, the El Camino in Kylie. On the 4th, we had an arrest in front of the Safeway on Homestead for DUI. On the 4th, we had an arrest at the cell phone store over on the El Camino for trespassing. What's really interesting about this is that the person who got arrested, Forte by name, has been around Santa Clara for a long time and doing bad things for a long time. 9 years ago now, I had taken my car to the Firestone repair shop on the corner of Calabasas and the El Camino, and I got a call from the manager of the shop, urgent, "Got to talk to you, John." So I called him back, and he says, "Okay, I can't explain this, but we threw a guy out of our shop, and on his way out, he kicked in the door of your car." I said, "Okay, that's bad news, but we'll figure it out." He then said that, he would make it right, which I expected they would. They're a reasonable company. I went by there, and the kick wasn't that big, so we just kind of said, "Yeah, give me a free oil change next time," and that was that. But it's the same guy who caused the problem at the cell store. So obviously that's not even close to fixed. On the 6th, we had another incident at the Motel 6. It's changed names a couple of times now, but it's on the El Camino just west of Calabasas on the south side of the street. It's been there a long, long time. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. They had a problem there. Looks like, along with everything else, they busted him for failure to appear and possession of drugs, but he was taken to jail. Also kind of interesting, on the 5th, we had an incident on the grounds of Levi Stadium, 4900 Marie D. Bortello Drive. And the two arrests were for selling liquor without a license. You very seldom see that law enforced, but apparently this was egregious enough that they did, and they took the people to jail. So that's about it from the west side of Santa Clara. I want to thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, please give it a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.